Hello, welcome back to my space of love, laughter, and a lot of laziness. In today's video, I'll be doing like a story time. Oh yeah, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell um, to get notified when I drop my videos. Yes, so this is a story time on. Okay, I will be moisturizing my hair and also like there's a mafreja. Also the one like these because now they're old. It's like 2 days, 3 days. Yeah, so yeah, just doing that. For now I'm just stretching out my hair. Okay, so until this is a story time. Um about my first time using it's part of my East London Chronicles. So if you've watched, I think my first video. Sorry if I keep looking to the side, and this is where my everything is. So this is my, what's this now? Okay, so this is an oil mixture, what that I did for myself. So I have olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I have grapeseed oil, which I had just bought at Discam, and then I also put in some tea tree oil. Hey, my amla oil, yeah, in its times, my amla oil, and then some castor oil from Native Child, and then also some coconut oil. So it's all those things in here because I'm trying to combat my flaky hair, scalp. Basically, so this is part of my Chronicles, East London Chronicles. I think I might have mentioned in Sheba, I stayed in East London for a while, growing up, basically high school, end of primary, starting off high school, but that was like how many years? 7, 8. We can say roughly 2.5 or 2.25 years. So this one is more of my certainly my first time using public transport. Right. So growing up, I grew up in Fort Beaufort, a small town, and I didn't realize Ugoti, that actually I was quite a princess, basically, because my grandparents never walk, like we never used public transport. My grandmother would always be there to drop us off at school. Um, like even after school, she'd be there waiting. Yabo. And then she'd go back to work. Yabo. So that's what I was used to, that lifestyle. Right. And then even if it's like in netball afternoon, someone's mom is gonna pick us up from home and then go drop us off, never walk, never take a taxi. Now, even if like we're going to the next town, which is Alice is like not too far, it's like 20-minute drive, we would never take a taxi, like no taxis at all, so that was the lifestyle basically that I grew up in. And then now I get to East London, grade 7. Yeah, and this was in grade 7. So I'm studying in East London, and so in East London I stay with my aunt and uncle, right? So Satingo, Auntie Pat, and yeah, and Auntie Pat, Uncle Banina, yeah, Uncle got certain uncle because okay, there's no other uncle. So I stay with Auntie Pat and Uncle. And then now, so okay, in Gafika, I'm the only child in the house. I'm like, oh, when the family visits you, right? And when they visit, it's all nice. They bring nice things because they're coming for the weekend, all that. So it was that situation. Oh, yes, now I'm going to get the weekend treatment full time. So I thought. And then now I stay in East London. So the first month, basically, first few months, it's all good. It's either Auntie Pat who drops me off at school, or it's uncle who drops me off at school. It's like that, and then they pick me up also. Also, I was doing played tennis and had swimming, and then on some other days, oh no, I started piano grade 8. So I am that girl, right? Okay. Hmm. And then now, my first public transport that I had to use was a bus. Me, I am clueless. Like, what? A bus? So many people. Like, I don't know where it stops. I see the bus sometimes when I come back from school, but oh, no, it's a bus. And then Auntie Pat is like, I get girl. So you will start taking the bus from now on. Because from time to time, Uncle would be out of the city because of work. Yeah. So on the days that Uncle would be out, so that means now Auntie Pat no longer can take me to school, right? So now I'll have to take the bus. And so like, I'll show you how to buy the ticket, the bus ticket, and don't, and where you wait for it, and what, and what, and what. Okay, I take the bus. Oh, the first morning, hey, I have to rush, get ready, and because the bus leaves at like 6:30 at the bus stop. Okay, I get ready, and then Auntie Pat is like, Masam, because if the bus leaves you, then the bus leaves you. Oh, hey, okay. I don't know no one. Like, what? I go to the bus. Should we go to the bus stop? We get there and she's like, okay, so this is the bus. So now you know where the bus stop is. Fine, sure. And then she's like, in the afternoon, you'll do the same. You'll find where the bus drops you off at school. That's where it's gonna pick you up in the afternoon. Okay, fine, sure. I do that. I go and I take the bus to school. Then now I start taking the bus on days when Uncle is not around. You know, fine. I'm like, hey, this is so like, and I'm not as like I don't know people. I don't talk to people, and it was like after I think a week of me taking a bus, then I met some girls who we go to the same primary school together. So and like it bus stop, it was like one stop. So like they came to me actually because me, I'm scared. All right. Then this fateful day, that was my first time calling pass. Like, okay, fine, pass is not a problem. So this fateful day, it happens that Gal wakes up a bit late. I tried to rush. You know when you try to rush, ne? But the time also rushes itself. I try. And this day I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me miss breakfast because if I eat breakfast, then I'll be late for the bus. Hey, the colors are thinking the colors. Hey, kind of sit the Pumemiago standing by the door. We bus gone. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I chase it? But why am I chasing a bus? Like what? What am I thinking? I'm like, should I? Like, what am I gonna do? So Uncle is not in town yet again on this day. Well, so and Auntie Pat this whole time is eating breakfast, right, in the kitchen. Okay, fine. And then I come back, and then she looks at me and says, Kaloku wena, you choose to be slow, and gengoku ibhasi kutheni ikushiyile ke ntombi. So, best option is for you to go catch amaphela, you know. I was like, this is another shock of my life. What? So you're not gonna take me to school? I have to go and catch amaphela. What? I like bompokolat. So I and then she's like, no, you're gonna walk up. So it's like I can say like roughly calculating now, it's a it's a kilometer or basically something like that. We're walking to where the mapel wafumana con, right? And girl, mind you, it's like a hill situation. This is a, I think, 13-year-old girl in the morning, because the bus left at like 6:30. So it's around, what's the time? Probably around, like, around those times, which quarter to 7, quarter, like 6:30, 25 to 7. This girl is gonna have to walk alone up, like, it's like not like a hill basically. That time I'm like, oh my goodness, what? Okay, I'm looking at the mirror. Like, what in the hell is this going on here? Like, what? First, I had to, now this. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Like, do I get to the taxi? I'm like, it's like, no, you're gonna, like, the cockroaches. It's like tata apa, not like literal cockroaches, like the cars, the small cars. It was like tata apa from here. You are, it's like Mr. A, Oxford. If you're from East London, you would know. And then from Oxford, you take one which goes to Vincent, and then like you go to school there, you know. I guess I'm like, okay, I'm memorizing, but it's our team. Hey, all right, fine. And now she gave me cash, but okay, this is the amount for the fare basically. I get there to the top basically. I stand. I'm like, do I? And go I don't know the signs. Do I? What do I do? That's another thing. And then, okay, so as I was saying, then okay, didn't realize I put these far. So now I had to take a taxi. Okay, fine. Call it cockroach. Luckily, the cockroach stood. So like, I don't know what sign to make, because at least it saw that I was wearing uniform. And so it stopped, and then like, okay, fine. I collared the cockroach, and then I went to town, Oxford, right? It was like the whole time like praying, like, oh, Father God, be with me. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is all just so for me. Like, what? Like, huh? Is this the life I'm gonna leave now? Like, what? Having to take taxis. Like, people get killed. Like, there was a lot going on in my head, honestly, because for me, taking taxis was like a taboo situation. But yo, what if I get hijacked? What if I get kidnapped? What if I get killed? What if, you know? I don't know where I got those misconceptions, but yeah, they were there in my head. And then after that, I opened with my hands, because opening with a comb was painful, honestly. So I'm like, yo, hey, fine. And now I get to Oxford. Luckily for me, there was like another taxi guy who was basically Puma, and he's like, the next call, come, yeah, you know, that side, Vincent. He's like, oh, you're going to school, come. I'm like, who, child? Because I don't even know man's out here. Do like, just put my things like, okay, you're wondering, and people can see, but this shoe doesn't fit here. Like, this person is lost. That's like how I was, because I'm like, okay, so I get out of this one. Where do I go stand? Like, what would I do? Like, you know, a lot of things are going on in my head, and East London for me is quite big at that time, right? And now I get to school. Oh, I take the taxi again, and then the taxi doesn't, not really a taxi man, so they don't really go to school. They drop you off like by the stop or by the what god, and then you have to walk. You have to walk. There I am, tiny as I am, walking. Then I walked and I walked and I walked it. And I got to school and I'm like, wow. So that was my first like taxi like experience using public transport, not taxi, just because also the bus was also like a first time thing. And now I was like, you oh yeah, let me just add like all these stories together because okay, it's also now like part of my East London traumas. Right, so this is a different day. I think in this story I was in grade 8. That's when I like, oh, Hashem, I missed like being at home. Like I started to appreciate like the life that I used to live basically in Fort Beaufort because it's a small town, and also like I realized, but oh wow, my grandparents actually treated me like a princess. And here it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life, basically. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. Literally. But okay, so fast forward to grade 8, and then also it has to do with public transport. So so I think I'm like like I was active basically in school, as much as yeah it was kind of forced by one one summer sports and one winter sport. And then I did like also like some cultural. So I did a cultural, which was public speaking. And then so in high school I did tennis. I continued with tennis. No, tennis was like was a me and uncle thing. So me and my uncle, we would play tennis on weekends, basically on Sundays. Was our thing. Sundays we play tennis. So I didn't play it at school. At school I did netball. Didn't really do well. Got too lazy. Then I quit netball. Then because I was too short, man, and it was like, too much pressure for tall people and whatever and whatever. And then so I did what was called what is it? Kanene? Power walking. Yes, power walking was the escape to not having to assign for another like other sports, because power walking is summer and winter. So you know, so I did power walking. I had public speaking, and yeah, so those were the two that I can remember. And then so this day I had what's this thing? I had public speaking. So public speaking is usually like late-ish, right? So I have public speaking. I go to the public speakings. I'm like, okay, nah, man, bus times, what. But actually, I'm counting on Auntie Pat to come fetch me from school, because I'm like, okay, it's up at 4:30. She comes out of work at 4:30, so it's not gonna be a train smash. Full as me, boo boo. And then so I go to I call Auntie Pat on some so Auntie Pat, I had power walking. Oh, I had public speaking, and it just ended now, and I don't know any like bus. I don't know any buses that come like that pick us up at this time. The public buses. And then she's like, no, you'll find a way. I am busy at work. I only come out at work at, was it 6? I think 6 or 5:30. Right? I'm like, okay. And uncle is like out of town yet again. So I have to take the bus. Okay, I'm like, hey, Zaitina Lando, and has the bus and then so there's this girl, she's like, oh no, I walk, right? So I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, you'll have to walk closer to the Vincent Mall, and then that's where you'll find buses at this time, because it's picking up people from work. Okay, fine. So I go towards Vincent Mall, and then there's this girl from school now. She's walking, and then she's like, oh hi, because I don't approach people. I'm scared. Right? And then she's like, are you going to take the bus? I'm like, yes. And she's like, oh, so where do you stay? I'm like, no, I stay close to Cambridge, Morningside. She's like, oh, okay. And then she says she stays in Cambridge. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. And then she's like, I'm like, okay, usually like after school, the bus that goes to Cambridge also does go through Morningside. Also, obviously, like the same bar situation. And he's like, okay, sure. So we get onto the bus, right? We get onto the bus, and then the bus moves. Aibo, over a bus, ingai Morningside. Now I have to walk. So if you are from East London, you would know where Amangwaba, a corner like the graveyard, by when you're going towards Amalanda Morningside situation, right? So it drops me off like closer to that area basically. And then it's enough. This is where we end off because now it's going back to the way bus was like, I go Mtana, because now I am going back to the depot. I'm like, I thought we are a morning Amalenda. He's like, no. And in the afternoon, around like 4:30, the bus is at 4:30. If it's Cambridge, it just goes around Cambridge and then goes back to the depot. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, no, it's fine. So I click up, hey. Then I walked. You know when you had a scary movie, and it's around. I think at that time it was around half, like 5, half past, quarter to 20 to 5, and it's like winter basically. You know how South African winter is like, okay, basically winter anyway, basically, where the sun starts to set at around those times. And I'm walking, I'm a girl child, alone, past Amangwaba, like down, hey, there's like a forest, a bushy place. Goodness gracious, did I not pray to God? But because wow, that time I was like holding my tears because like I'm like, what the hell? Like, what did I do to get here? You know, when you're like, what did I do to get here to this point where I am walking in the dark in such a dangerous area? But okay, we live and we tell the stories. So I walked all the way and I got home. When I got home, Auntie Patty was there already. And mind you, okay, in all of this, I don't have a phone. Like, so I was saying, mind you, in all of this, me going up and down, like taking the bus, what, I don't have a phone because when I was at school, I called her with the payphones at school. So now I'm like, like what the hell is like? Honestly, Shem, it was very traumatic. Especially the woods part, and especially like at that time of the night. And then I think it was like a week later or something, and then there was a story that someone was killed close to those woods. Child, that could have been me. Like, that could have been me. Because what? I was literally walking alone, and I don't know for what reason. You know, when things are just not good, they just bad. There were no cars. Mind you, it's like a freeway, basically. Not freeway, but yeah, where you see a lot of cars. You find that a lot of cars are moving in that area. But that day, hey, DT, there was just one car. It was so quiet. It was so quiet. And the prayer I was saying to God, hey, but yeah, we live and we experience such things. And yeah, here we are now. Now we're able to take public transport. We're able to take public transport, and we, as much as like I'm not I don't know, like when I'm in a taxi, I'd rather tell the taxi driver, but okay, this is where I'm going, and then yeah, that's that. But I still have not, and cause no cause, but and then stop. No, I don't know how to do that. Honestly, it's a good thing that Ubers came to South Africa because wow, wow, it is saving some of us the trouble of having to say, oh, robotin or whatever, whatever. I think this is gonna be like a long video, which is unnecessary, honestly. But okay, yeah, those were my stories, part of my East London Chronicles. East London Chronicles is coming soon. It's like gonna be like a part of my stories are gonna be based on that. My life in East London. Yeah, because okay, that's where I got a lot of life, what I could say, life experiences. So yeah, as you can see with my hair, so I did one section of my hair, so I need to do this one um, with this magic. I'm gonna call it magic oil. Do it at home, do it yourself. Oil, especially if you suffer from flaky hair, like your flaky scalp, like dry scalp situation. I'm still trying it out. I'm still gonna let you know how it is and if it does help me with my dry scalp. But thank you very much for watching. Let me stop rambling. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and do what the things that makes the parts to be done. And from me to you, bye. I know them all up together to this point, if you can see it. Right. So all the twists together and then with some pins, and then this is going to be my hairstyle for the next 2 to 3 days, depending, because lazy natural. Yeah.